It's one of the tragedies of communication that for so many people, the ability to speak out, to voice their view, to speak in public is a fear to be overcome rather than an opportunity to be seized. I'm in the central town square of Wrocław in southwestern Poland, having just coming to the end of a 2-day trip. It's only a short visit, but I was the keynote speaker here at a conference held here in the city. Wonderful 2 days, and the organisers did a great job. And what I was struck by was this: the number of young professionals participating in the conference, mostly, if not entirely, of course, Polish. And I was particularly struck by a conversation I had last night with one of the conference attendees, and she said this. She said, traditionally here in Poland, for many people, public speaking and the ability to get your point across isn't seen as important yet. She said, but things are changing. And certainly that reflects my own experience as a visitor to a number of countries around Europe. Of course, many sessions in the UK, but also sessions in Ukraine and in Bulgaria. I was in the Czech Republic just a few days ago. And of course, now here in Poland, as well as in countries in Western Europe too, that there is an enormous desire on the part of ambitious young professionals to improve their effectiveness as communicators, not just because they're necessarily having to give a stand-up slide presentation, but because of online video, because of the importance of being able to get your point across in meetings, to contribute, Skype calls. And it seems to me as though there is a shift happening. There are many people that would say, communication means that now things are going to be done by computers, and actually the ability to engage people through the spoken word, that's a bit old hat. And indeed the very phrase public speaking, I think for many people, has very old-fashioned associations. I see it quite differently. If you think of the last few decades, there's been almost a tyranny of the institution. Institutional structures have dominated professional life in a way that I think has confined the ability of individuals to express themselves, has confined personal expression to an elite. There were so many blockages, lack of transparency, opacity, that made it difficult for people to voice their view. You look at the history of the last 100 years, whether it's in business or in politics, plenty of evidence of that. That's changing, and of course technology is an important part of that. I don't just mean in terms of social media, but in terms of online video, in terms of blogging, in terms of use of Skype or video conferencing. Automation, the impact of automation that is enabling technology to do a job that previously required people. What does that mean? I think what that means is that something that is distinctively human, our ability to communicate in a creative and an engaging way, is a more critical skill than ever before, because it's something which we are absolutely differentiated by our ability to communicate effectively, different from animals, different from computers, different from systems. And we see that now with the best way I can describe it is the democratization of personal expression. And of course that's manifest all around us, the ability to connect through technology as people in a way that simply wasn't possible only 20, 30 years or so ago. And so I think rightly it seems to me more and more young people, yes, benefiting from technology, use of email and all that stuff, but also absolutely value the critical importance of being able to get your point across, to engage people, if you're serious about wanting to be an influencer, and dare I say, an inspirer. And those are qualities and emotional outcomes that aren't going to go away, no matter how effective technology becomes. So I think exciting times, but the ground is shifting beneath our feet in terms of the impact of technology and institutional change in terms of how that plays out with the importance of communication. So there you go, there's some thoughts for you from the city of Wrocław in Poland. If you're watching this anywhere other than on my website, check out simonbucknell.com, which is that's my online presence. That's where I have articles there and videos and so on for you to take a look at. And in the meantime, speak well and of course, speak soon.